I'm Tim Webb and I'm Artistic Director of Oily Cart, which is a theatre company producing work for young audiences. In particular, we work for people with serious learning disabilities, people who have got what's classified as profound and multiple learning disabilities. That means they've probably got issues with mobility and with using verbal language, and they may have a variety of sensory impairments, but certainly cognitive impairments. The work is greatly in demand, and I've come here today to see if we can spark the interest here. We've been working in this field since 1988, and our work is multisensory. It's about smelling, and it's about touching, and it's about the kinesthetic sense, the sense of your body in space, as much as it's about the sort of theatrical staples like seeing and hearing. We have fantastic visuals, and we have always have live music, specially composed live music. And the idea is really to find channels which will communicate with people who can't necessarily see things or hear things, or take a bit longer than you or I would. They get angry, they get upset, but actually they're always in the end there's a way through. It's about trying out different languages, trying out languages that have nothing to do with words, that are to do with touch, that are to do with smell, and finding ways of communicating via a personality that you build up, a personality that someone who can't see very well could see, like in terms of a silhouette. It's about taking your time. It's giving people the opportunity to process intellectually what's going on. We introduce a particular event in the show with a sound cue, so you'll just hear the sound, say, of running water. Then you'll see an image of running water, and then someone will bring in the actual running water. The Oily Cart has always been interested in defining a particular audience and then looking at the needs of that audience and then thinking, well, is the kind of theatre that people are doing or that we've been doing actually going to connect with that audience? If you look at the needs of someone who's got, an intellectual impairment, then you really, if they're going to get the most out of a theatre performance, the best thing to do is to look at how they communicate, how they understand the world around them, and not just assume that a show that you might do for an ordinary audience of kids is going to work. Very often it's a theatre about touch. So again, it's a close-up theatre, and it's a theatre that's adaptable, and actually that means very often in our shows we're very often working one-to-one. Some of the people with complex disabilities, I mean, they have obvious issues relating to the world around them, so knowing the sort of little society they're in. It's very easy for people to take this world terribly seriously, and in fact that is not a good way of involving anybody. But if people think that this is playful, this is enjoyable, that's good for the young people. It just takes longer, and you have to try harder from different angles. It's about looking at how long a performance lasts. It's looking about where you do a performance. Some of our most successful pieces from the Oily Cart have been where we've actually spent a week with a character embedded in a school. You have a real sense of achievement when you have actually got this locked-on, engaged moment. That's brilliant. If the work is good, if the work is really looking at the needs of an audience and really trying to address them, then it will communicate effectively, and the people who work with the young guys in the audience every day will see that. The parents will see the value of that. The teachers will see the value of that. There is an overwhelming demand for work that really connects with people with profound complex disabilities, and it's a demand that's woefully undersupplied. It's very valuable to have a specialist approach which really looks at the particular doors that need unlocking between someone who's just regular old, what the Americans call neurotypical, and someone who's got disabilities of the complex kind.